Russia wants to stop democracy in Kazakhstan. In recent days, Russian journalists and politicians started attacking Kazakhstan, claiming that Kazakhstan is taking course towards Nazism. If we look at Russian news in the last couple of months, we can see numerous articles and videos blaming Kazakh patriots in racism. Russian propaganda machine is bombarding the internet with fake news that Kazakh patriots are threatening local Russian people for not speaking Kazakh. That claim is a big fat lie. For instance, let's take a look at this video from a popular Russian TV show.
В Казахстане появились даже языковые патрули. Местные активисты возмущаются, почему в магазинах много надписей на русском и заставляют русских извиняться на камеру. 2 июля в городе Актау произошла перепалка, в ходе которой русская жительница напомнила, что город был когда-то построен русскими. А уже 9 июля на канале было выложено видео, где женщина извинялась за свои слова.
Саламат ССБ, казак Еле. Я была в нервном состоянии. Простите меня, пожалуйста. Я хотел этого. Я долго живу в Казахстане, я люблю Казахстан, я люблю казахский народ. И я ничего не хотела абсолютно плохого сказать про казахский народ. Я очень прошу извинения у казахского народа. Простите меня, казак Еле.
First of all, the activists are not angry to the titles in Russian. They are angry to the absence of titles in Kazakh. That is a discrimination of Kazakh-speaking citizens of our country and a violation of our laws. According to the law on languages in Kazakhstan, Article 21, any visual information should be given both in Kazakh and Russian, equally. Second of all, no one is forcing anyone to apologize on camera. That woman on the video works in a shop in Aktau city. And when a customer came to her shop and spoke Kazakh, she started bullying him. Not only him, but the entire Kazakh nation.
Вы плюете на землю. Я вот иду, а мне под ноги плюнули ваши, не наши. Вы не любите русских. А что мы вам сделали плохого? Мы вам город построили. И если бы не мы, вы бы здесь не были. Я строил этот город, понятно? Я лечила вас таких. И не надо на меня смотреть. Потребитель, Роспотребнадзор, вперед и с песнями.
As you can see from this video, that woman is a racist. She is claiming that Kazakh cities have been built by Russians. She's lying. The city of Aktau, as well as all other Soviet cities, was built by Soviet people. Not only by Russians, but also by Kazakhs and many other people of different ethnic origin, including even Germans and Japanese who were captured in World War II. But the majority of the builders were local Kazakhs. In addition, the woman shows her racism by dividing the people of her country into so-called ours and yours. Furthermore, by mentioning Russian regulatory organs, like Rospotrебnadzor, she shows her loyalty to Russia, not to Kazakhstan. And now, let's go back to the TV show.
И здесь нужно отметить, что и в Киргизии, и в Казахстане русский язык является официальным государственным языком.
Once again, we see how Russian journalists are lying to the public. Russian language has no status in Kazakhstan. The only one official state language in Kazakhstan is Kazakh, which is written in our constitution, Article 7, Chapter 1. Russian may also be used in government organizations and local self-administrative bodies, but it doesn't have an official status of state language. And now, let's take a look at another video made by Vladimir Solovyov, the #1 propagandist on Russian mass media.
Ну вот там появляется очередное видео, которое снимает этот подонок в Казахстане. Я что-то не вижу никакой реакции властей Казахстана. Вот несчастную женщину отловили, заставляют ее извиняться.
Okay, let's see what happened in reality. That woman on the video, Amelia Grechenik, is the head of the Control Department of Medical Social Expertise in Atarau region. When a woman who is a mother of a disabled child called the department for a consulting, Amelia refused to answer her questions for only one reason. Because that woman spoke Kazakh.
Алло, саламатсызбы?
Здравствуйте.
ИПР-дың оригиналын жоғалтып алып, соған қалай дубликат шығартып алсақ болады?
Когда вы проходили комиссию?
Так, медкомиссия 14 жылы.
Какой вы? Дайте свой ИИН.
87.
На русском языке можете сказать?
Нет, вы говорите по-казахски. Вы говорите по-казахски.
Вы не хотите разговаривать Вот я вас говорю, я прошу вас, чтобы вы сказали
Нет,
на русском.
нет, мы в Казахстане находимся, говорите, пожалуйста, на казахском.
She refused to consult the customer in the official state language. That is a discrimination of Kazakh-speaking customers. And the only one reason for her to apologize was to escape punishment by law. No one could threaten her or caused any physical harm. Amelia lives in Atarau, and Kuwat Akhmetov, who's been blamed to threaten her, lives in Almaty, which is 2,000 kilometers away. The idea that Kuwat Akhmetov could force Amelia Grechanik to apologize is nonsense. After all, 1 year later, that woman is working in the job, still violating our laws, continuing to ignore the rights of Kazakh-speaking citizens. In addition, she promised to learn Kazakh language in the nearest future. But she's still not learning it. However, she didn't get any punishment according to law. She only apologized. And such cases are happening in Kazakhstan constantly. If you live in Kazakhstan, and you don't speak Russian, you have no rights. You can't buy food in a grocery store if the seller is a Russian-speaking person. You can't have a meal in a restaurant if waiters don't speak Kazakh. And so on. And that is happening every day in every part of the country. Once there was a case when a person whose house was about to burn in fire called a fire station, but the Russian-speaking operator could not understand him and therefore didn't send any help. The vast majority of Russian-speaking citizens in our country do not speak Kazakh at all. Not only they don't speak, they also refuse to learn it. In Kazakhstan, Kazakh language is a mandatory subject in all schools. It is taught in kindergartens, primary schools, secondary schools, in colleges and universities. In addition, we have free Kazakh classes for all citizens in every city. However, most Russian-speaking citizens don't use those opportunities properly. Russians in Kazakhstan behave themselves as a privileged caste, as if they were members of a royal family.
Видите, что я славянской национальности? Будьте добры разговаривать со мной на русском языке. За это знаете, что есть статья? Что вы ко мне обращаетесь на казахском языке.
When a Kazakh meets a local Russian, he always speaks Russian. But when a local Russian meets a Kazakh, he never speaks Kazakh. And that is being considered a normal behavior in our country. Kazakhs are treated as lower-class people with no rights, unless they speak Russian. The same approach is used in all kinds of public relations and business, including trading and consulting. In Kazakhstan, roughly 70% of the population speak Kazakh as their first language. They have a full constitutional right to be served in Kazakh in any part of the country. In addition, there are at least 2 million Kazakh citizens who do not speak Russian at all. However, their rights are totally ignored. Russian-speaking citizens ignore the rights of Kazakh-speaking ones. The saddest thing is that no one was punished according to law for discriminating Kazakh-speaking people. Not a single case of judgment in 30 years of independence. That is the reason why Kuwat Akhmetov started a movement called Til Maidani, which means Language Front. The aim of this movement is to protect the rights of Kazakh-speaking citizens to be served in their native language, which is by the way the only official state language of the country. The members of Til Maidani do not violate any laws. They do not threaten anyone or discriminate Russians. On the contrary, they fight against the discrimination of Kazakhs, thereby participating in the process of establishing democracy in Kazakhstan. They only demand to respect their constitutional rights. Otherwise, our government would have still ignored this issue. However, Russian politicians do not want Kazakhstan to be a free democratic country. They still want to rule us, like they did before. Russia doesn't want to lose its control over Kazakhstan. For that reason, they will do anything to suppress democracy and patriotism in our country. They will suppress any attempts of Kazakhs to be independent, covering it by the idea of protecting Russians in neighboring territories. Thus, Russian mass media started its propaganda campaign against the leader of Til Maidani, Kuwat Akhmetov. He was declared a persona non grata and banned to enter Russia for 50 years. Russian politicians gave a direct order to the government of Kazakhstan to stop Til Maidani, and to punish its leader Kuwat Akhmetov. The reaction was quick. Dauren Abayev, the first deputy head of the presidential administration in Kazakhstan, called the actions of Kazakh patriots, I quote, primeval Nazism.
Подавляющее большинство наших граждан осуждает такие проявления пещерного национализма.
Few days later, Kuwat Akhmetov was captured by the police, but soon he was released. Police officers